I was staring at a photograph on Facebook when my hands started shaking. The woman in the photo had my face, my exact face. Same dark hair, same brown eyes, same slight gap between her front teeth that I'd always been self-conscious about. But it wasn't a photo of me. I'd never been to Boston, never worn that blue dress, never stood in front of that brownstone building. I clicked on the profile. Sarah Mitchell, age 51, lives in Boston, Massachusetts. The same age as me, born the same year as me. And she had my face. I did the math instantly. 51 years, born 1972, given up for adoption as an infant. I had a twin, an identical twin I'd never known existed. My name is Margaret Walsh. I'm 51 years old. I've lived in Denver, Colorado my entire adult life, never married, no children. I work as an accountant for a mid-sized tech company. I was adopted in 1972 by Eleanor and Thomas Walsh of Kansas City, Missouri. They were in their 40s when they adopted me. Older parents who'd tried for years to have biological children. They were loving but reserved, conservative, practical. We didn't do a lot of emotional sharing in my household growing up, but I knew I was wanted, knew I was loved. I was an only child, always was, as far as I knew. My parents told me I was adopted when I was 7. They were honest about it. Said my birth mother was young, couldn't keep me, made an adoption plan. They'd adopted me through a private agency in Kansas. I never felt a strong urge to search for my birth parents. My adoptive parents were my parents. That was enough. But there were things I always wondered about. Little things. Why did I love music so much when neither of my parents were musical? Why was I left-handed when everyone in my family was right-handed? Why did I have this persistent feeling, especially as a child, that I was supposed to be paired with someone? I used to invent imaginary friends as a kid, not unusual for only children, but mine felt different, more real. I called her Sarah. She was my twin in the imaginary world. We did everything together. My mother worried about it, took me to a child psychologist when I was 8 because I wouldn't stop talking about Sarah. It's normal, the psychologist said. Only children often invent siblings. She'll grow out of it. I did grow out of it. By age 10, Sarah was gone, forgotten, or so I thought. In March 2023, my accountant colleagues convinced me to take an ancestry DNA test. We were doing it as a team-building exercise. Everyone was curious about their ethnicity, their heritage. I wasn't particularly interested, but I went along with it. Spit in the tube, sent it back, forgot about it. 2 months later, I got the notification. Your DNA results are ready. I opened it during my lunch break, scanned the ethnicity results. 52% Irish, 28% German, 15% English, 5% Scandinavian. Made sense. Eleanor Walsh was Irish-German. Thomas was English-Scandinavian. Then I clicked on DNA matches. The first match made my heart stop. Sarah Mitchell, twin. 3,288 semeners shared DNA. Confidence extremely high. Twin. I had a twin named Sarah. The imaginary friend from my childhood was real. I stared at that screen for 20 minutes, unable to move, unable to breathe. Then I clicked on Sarah's profile. She'd taken her DNA test 2 years earlier in 2021. Her profile said she was searching for biological family and open to contact. There was a link to her Facebook page. I clicked it with shaking hands, and there she was. My face, my exact face, staring back at me from dozens of photos. Sarah at a wedding, Sarah hiking in the mountains, Sarah with her arm around a young woman who looked like her, our daughter. She lived in Boston, worked as a music teacher, was married, had 2 children. She was living the life I might have lived, the life I chose not to live, or maybe the life that was meant for her, not me. I scrolled through years of photos, trying to understand, trying to process. Then I saw a post from April 2021. Just took an ancestry DNA test, hoping to find my birth family, and especially my twin. I've always felt like part of me was missing. If you're out there, twin, please reach out. Twin. She'd known. Somehow she'd known there was a twin. I sent her a message through Ancestry. Sarah. My name is Margaret Walsh. We match as identical twins on Ancestry DNA. I was born in Kansas in 1972 and adopted as an infant. I had no idea you existed until today. Can we talk? Margaret, she responded in 11 minutes. Margaret? Oh my God, I've been waiting for this message for 51 years. Yes, we can talk. Please call me. Please. Here's my number. I knew you were real. I've known my whole life. Sarah. I called her immediately. She answered on the first ring. Margaret? Sarah. We both started crying. I can't believe this is real, Sarah said through tears. I've imagined this moment my whole life, but I can't believe it's real. I didn't know you existed, I told her. I had no idea, not until today. I always knew. I didn't know, but I felt it. My whole life, I felt like someone was missing, like I was supposed to be part of a pair. I felt that too, when I was a kid. I had an imaginary friend. I called her Sarah. Sarah gasped. You called her Sarah? Yes. I had an imaginary friend too. I called her Maggie, short for Margaret. We were both silent for a moment, processing that impossibility. How did you know to search for a twin? I asked. I didn't know for sure, but when I was 30, I went to my doctor for a routine checkup. She was taking my family history and asked if twins ran in my family. I said I didn't know because I was adopted. She said I should find out because there were indicators in my medical history that suggested I might be a twin. What indicators? I don't remember exactly. Something about my bone structure, my development. She said sometimes twins who are separated at birth show certain patterns. So I started researching, started asking questions. My adoptive parents didn't know anything. The adoption agency had closed decades ago. I hit dead ends everywhere. So you took a DNA test. 2 years ago. I'd been checking every week for 2 years, hoping to find you, and then today I got a notification. You have a new DNA match. And there you were. I started crying again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't search sooner. Don't apologize. You're here now. That's all that matters. We talked for 4 hours that first day, comparing lives, finding connections. We both loved classical music. Both played piano. Both were left-handed. Both had seasonal allergies. Both had the same recurring dream about falling, but our lives had been so different. Sarah grew up in a big Italian family in Boston, loud, emotional, affectionate. She had 3 adoptive siblings. She was married at 25, had her first child at 27. I grew up in a quiet household in Kansas City. Reserved, private, structured. I was an only child. I never married, never had children. Do you think we would have been different if we'd grown up together? I asked her. Maybe, or maybe we always were different. Maybe that's okay. 2 weeks later, I flew to Boston. Sarah picked me up at the airport. We saw each other across baggage claim and stopped walking. It was like looking in a mirror. Same height, same build, same face, even the same way of standing, with our weight shifted to our right leg. We walked toward each other slowly, then we hugged. You're real, Sarah whispered. You're really real. So are you. Her family was overwhelming in the best way. Her husband, Mike, her daughters, Sophia, 24, and Emily, 22, her parents, her siblings, her nieces and nephews. Everyone wanted to meet me. Everyone wanted to hug me. Everyone cried. You look exactly alike, Sophia kept saying. It's unreal. Do you feel like you've known each other your whole lives? Emily asked. Yes, Sarah said. No, I said at the same time. We looked at each other and laughed. It's complicated, I explained. We're connected biologically, but we're also strangers. We have 51 years of different experiences, different memories, different lives. But you're still twins, Mike said. Yes, we both said together. Over the next few days, Sarah and I tried to piece together our origin story. We contacted adoption agencies, dug through records, hired a search angel to help, and eventually we found the truth. Our birth mother was named Catherine O'Brien. She was 19 when she gave birth to us in 1972 at a hospital in Kansas City. She was unmarried, scared, alone. When she went into labor, she had no idea she was having twins. This was 1972. Ultrasounds weren't standard. She thought she was having 1 baby, but she had 2. The adoption agency she'd worked with had arranged for 1 baby to go to a family in Kansas, Thomas and Eleanor Walsh. But there was a second baby, me, or Sarah. We don't know which of us was supposed to be adopted and which was the surprise. The agency made a decision quickly. They found another family the Mitchells in Boston, who'd been waiting for an adoption. They separated us at birth. Catherine O'Brien only held one baby, only said goodbye to one baby. She never knew there was a second. She died in 2018, breast cancer, never knowing she had twins. We found her grave in Kansas City, visited it together. Do you think she would have kept us if she'd known there were two? Sarah asked, standing at the headstone. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe it would have been even harder. Do you ever wish we'd grown up together? I thought about that. Sometimes, but then I wouldn't be me, and you wouldn't be you. We'd be different people. Are you glad we found each other now? Yes. Absolutely yes. That was 18 months ago. Since then, Sarah and I have built a relationship that's unlike any other in my life. We're not the same person split in two. We're two different people who share biology, who share origin, who share something inexplicable. I've met her family dozens of times now, spent holidays in Boston. Her daughters call me Aunt Maggie. Her husband says I'm part of the family now, and in a strange way, I am. I always thought I was fine being alone, being solitary, being the only one. But meeting Sarah showed me what I was missing. Not a twin in the dramatic, finish each other's sentences way, but a connection, a mirror. Someone who understands parts of me I've never been able to explain. The imaginary friend I had as a child wasn't imaginary. She was real. She was waiting. And 51 years later, we finally found each other. Have you discovered a twin or sibling through DNA testing? Has finding family changed your understanding of yourself? Share your story in the comments. Subscribe for more true stories about DNA discoveries, twin reunions, and the power of biology. New stories every week. Thanks for listening.